Hello, Chem 1 students. This is Mr. Coker, and I'm doing the pre-lab video for Lab 2 on physical and chemical changes. This is a stations lab, so you will go to your normal station, do the station at that lab, so you won't all start at station 1, and then you will rotate clockwise in order to get to all 8 stations by the end of the period. You'll be working in groups of 4 or 5. You'll be working as a table, not as one side of the table in a group of 2 or 3. It's the whole table working together to observe the various changes at each station. So this is trying to help you figure out the difference between a physical and a chemical change. Remember, a new substance needs to form in order for it to be a chemical change. Sometimes that's associated with evolution of heat, evolution of light, precipitate, a color change, maybe the formation of a gas. These are possible clues, but the true proof that you've had a chemical change is that a new substance has been formed. Okay, station 1 is at the table by the main door, and station 1 is burning magnesium in a flame. And so you're going to do all of the steps to burn magnesium aflame. The caution here, safety-wise, is don't stare at the light. That's the caution safety-wise. Okay, moving down the line, station 2, the next peninsula down, is putting zinc and acid together in a test tube and observing the change that occurs. At the end, you will be asked to decant, D-E-C-A-N-T, the acid off of the zinc. Now, decant simply means I have zinc on the bottom, I've got liquid on the top. I'm going to pour off the liquid, but I'm not going to pour the zinc down the sink. We don't want zinc in the sink. Zinc will clog up our sink. So there's still a little bit of acid there, but if you run some more water in there, do that a couple of times, pouring carefully off the water, you are decanting. Then you can put the wet zinc on a paper towel to dry. So you just pour it out on the paper towel to dry. So you've washed off the acid, you've washed it down, that acid down the sink, and now your zinc can dry out and be used again by another group, whatever amount of zinc is left there. Okay, station 3. So station 3 down here, we're simply mixing some sugar and some water together in a test tube, stirring it up, and looking at the change that occurs between sugar and water. When you're done here, you do want to wash out your test tube and wash that down the sink because it's just sugar and water. Station 4, we're going to be mixing, and by the way, this is not one of the peninsulas. This is now the counter at the back of the room. You can see back there at the back of the room we have station 4. We had to fit in 8 stations, so we have to use more than just the peninsulas. So this is one where we are using test tubes, using droppers to get drops in silver nitrate and hydrochloric acid, and we're mixing them together to see what happens. So be aware that it is an acid, so you don't want it on your skin, but if you do get it on your skin, wash it off in the sink. Okay, station 5. Again, we have sugar. That's what's in the beaker here, this white crystal. That's just table sugar. But instead of putting it in water, we're going to heat it on a hot plate. So follow the directions for heating it on the hot plate. When you're done, we have some soapy water here that you can wash out the beaker when you're finished before you move on to the next station, station 6. So station 6, we have another putting a metal in a fire. This is your platinum wire here, and it's been with some rubber tape here, we have taped it onto the end of a glass rod, and you're going to put that in the flame. My only caution here is don't put it too deep in the flame or you'll be lighting the rubber tape on fire. But you want to look at the appearance of the platinum wire when it gets hot in the flame. Okay, on to station 7. So station 7 is at the 6th peninsula. This is putting water in a beaker and boiling it on the hot plate. So fairly simple change that a lot of people have seen before, but just follow the directions. By the way, just to show you, we wrote the directions for each station on a piece of paper, and that will be at each station. So you can see what you're supposed to do at that station by reading the directions. Okay, finally, station 8. This is actually up at Mr. Davis's desk on the low counter near the door. So here we have a beaker to do the reaction in, a dropper to put the copper 2 chloride, this blue solution, on a small piece of aluminum. Now when you're done, you want to wash all the chemical that's in the beaker there after you've seen the change into this waste jar. So we're not washing it down the sink, we're not throwing it away, we're putting it in this waste jar when we're finished. Now at each station you want to clean up and have everything back the way it was when you got there. Okay, when you finish that up, you'll be ready to finish the questions for the lab. That's our pre-lab for number 2, Gucci.